It's time. AA Best Bell Bonds brings them to you. Here he is, the head coach of your Dallas Cowboys, Mike McCarthy. Morning, Coach. How's your week been?
Week's been good. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. Week going? You know what, Coach? As you know, we got more Cowboy fans down here than up there in Dallas per capita. So this week, it's been hype, man. It's been
nice.
It's been an exciting week, man. I know how's the feeling in your locker room around your guys? Is it the same feeling as we getting down here?
Oh yeah, huge urgency throughout the week. So yeah, we're building till Sunday. I've been very impressed with the guys this week.
Coach, so many old Dallas Cowboy fans do appreciate the way you do treat history. It's always been part of your method of bringing up the rivalries and the story that go behind what goes on here in the history of the Cowboys. And certainly the 49ers play true to that. And you have roots on both sides. And as you prepare for a game like this, we've heard you say, you want to, it's a game. It's more than a game. I mean, how do you balance that? You don't want them too high, but you certainly want them to know it's prime time in 49er. You don't have to tell them that for sure. Do you pull anybody back? Are you having to pull on the reins here, or is it just it's playoff atmosphere?
Well, I think the biggest thing, each and every week, your time and energy, you're only given so much, and you got to utilize it to the best of your ability and the focus. And we have to do these interviews and participate with the media, but other than that, you're really dialed into the plan. And frankly, it's when you play these, which is a good thing. You're playing all these Sunday night games and the travel. And it takes you a couple of weeks to get in a routine. So I just feel like we're finally getting into the flow of preparing for a normal week, and we understand who the opponent is. But these guys do a great job of just focusing on what we need to do, because obviously you pour so much each and every day, and especially every week into these games.
Speaking of building up toward this and having some normalcy, talk about your offensive line.
Yes,
looks like it's gonna be full strength this Sunday finally.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we had everybody out there yesterday, and I'm looking forward to a good report from the training room this morning, and so we're definitely headed in that direction.
As you head into a weekend against a football team that you're very, very, very familiar with, you look for differences, things that have changed. Certainly you taking over the play calling's one. Steve Wilkes taking over the defense as well. What are you seeing in his defense that has changed over Ryan's? Certainly they're still very good, but there has to be some things in there that the layman like me might not have noticed.
Yeah, definitely. No, that's a very good question. I think, when you look at this schematic matchup, and and you look at Steve's history, he has taken over a defense that's been very successful, and it's a scheme that they truly believe in, and he has stuck to it pretty consistently. And and obviously the way they played the first 4 games is a big part of that. But you're always when you go into these matchups, you're always looking at coordinators' background and history. So frankly, there's been a lot of extra time and energy put into Steve's background, and as far as both Brian and I have competed against Steve as play callers. So because he's part of different totally different mindset when he's in Carolina, Cleveland, Arizona. So just be cognizant of it. But they're playing very, very similar to what they played in the past.
You get the matchup this week, Coach, of Michael Parsons and Trent Williams. Trent, a lot like Tyron Smith, one of the better left tackles, if not the best left tackle in the game. Do you get with DQ? You talk about moving Parsons around, or you just let these guys go mano a mano and may the best man win all night?
Well, I mean, moving Mike around is
normal.
Is what we do. Yeah, that's
right.
Our norm. So that will not change. But yeah, definitely. I mean, you're in tune with all the matchup, and Trent's he's played at a high level for a long time. So we're definitely aware of that. But yeah, we're going to run our defense, and they do a lot on offense, formation and shift wise. So we feel really good about our plan. So excited to see our guys get out there and compete and win Sunday night.
Hey, Coach, what's the running back depth chart look like for you? How's Dowdle? What's your fullback situation? How are we stacking in coming into a busy today and tomorrow?
Yeah, everything's the same here, Rob. But Rico practiced yesterday, looked good. So I look for him to be back. So rotation has been pretty consistent.
Coach, I'm trying to find some problems here, Coach. I'm trying to find some issues that as we come into this game. I mean, I'm a professional fault finder, and it's hard for me to find something. Give me a problem that I should be looking at.
Well, I think just the biggest thing is, we're trying to stay in our rotation, and but yeah, I just look at. I'm all about answers. I don't have any problems. Ask, ask Rudy. Maybe Rudy can help us. We got Rudy.
Hey, Coach, I got nothing, man. I just want to see a good, entertaining football game. I know you've talked with us in the past, Coach, about these Sunday night games. You prefer playing a little bit earlier, but you got Sunday night is prime time. I'm shocked that this is the first time the Cowboys have played the 49ers in a primetime game since 1990. That just doesn't make sense to me.
Well, yeah, I didn't realize that, but yeah, I think like anything. I mean, Sunday nights these games are a blast to play in because the energy is just unbelievable. Our fans will be there, show up strong like they always do. So I mean, that part of it is you look forward to it. It's just when you get off that plane at 4 a.m. You're just a little behind for the next one. So that's really the challenge, that is the travel and the late night. But trust me, that these games are. I mean, we're blessed. They're a joy to play in.
Coach, last year, of course, Tony Pollard goes out and in that game in the playoffs. And to me, I could be biased, but to me, it changed. Talk about his role that he's going to play Sunday night and having, hopefully having him for an entire game, and how that makes y'all's offense that much better.
Well, I mean, Tony's one of our primary guys. I mean, Tony's a dynamic back. So, I mean, and he can do it in all three phases. I've been so impressed with his pass protection. We were asking our guys to do more than we've done in the past, and yeah, Tony's our ace. He needs to touch the ball. That's for sure.
I heard Michael Gallup talking about Brandon Cooks. He was asked about maybe why Cooks hasn't got the looks that he's supposed to get, but he said Gallup brought up an interesting point about, like, hey, if Cooks is out there, he's taking a couple of guys with him. He's a deep threat. Is that, and I know Cooks is a team guy. Y'all have talked about him since before he got on the field and how great of a teammate he is. But do you look to get him more involved? I mean, because obviously you didn't bring him in just to be a quote unquote decoy.
No doubt. I mean, we've played 4 games. Brandon's missed 1, but yeah, we want to spread the ball around. We want everybody to be happy, and it's hard when you play with this approach, but it's better for us in the long run, because a lot of games, 17 games, you're gonna need everybody. And the quarterback, that he's doing his job. He's spreading the ball around, and that's the way we play. So, but yeah, definitely, I definitely get Brandon a ball, but he does. I mean, he commands a lot of respect out there. I mean, you see corners when he lines up. It's they're playing a different technique and they play a different depth when Brandon's out there. So, it's something that we have been able to take advantage of, because he usually takes 2 when he goes vertical.
Coach, a question about your turnover margin, which is just ridiculous, man. To be able to play like this, to have the benefit of just all these extra possessions, at what point do you start to count on it? I mean, at what point do you start to rely on the fact that, man, we're getting 3-4 of these a game, and we got to have a scheme for it? And what do you do when they're not there?
Well, I think the biggest thing is, you got to make sure you just stay on top of both sides of the equation. Number one, we're taking care of the ball, significantly better than we have, and that's been a major emphasis for us. But our takeaways is part of our DNA. But you're right. I mean, you can't go in the game and just say, hey, we're gonna be +2 and we're gonna win, because that's why the formula of complementary football is such an emphasis for us, because there's going to be games where the offense is going to have to go win it for the defense, and special teams is going to contribute, and vice versa. So that's what we're working towards, just to make sure that we can play our best ball, but pick up from one another when the other one's under a challenge. It's they're up against it. So but yeah, you got to take care of the ball, and we continue to do that. We'll be right where we need to be.
As you guys take care, so do they. And you turnovers, interceptions are one thing, strips another. Are you willing to sacrifice a couple of yards after catch or carry for a couple of turnovers, or is the tackle the key? Because I look at what the 49ers do, and those big running backs we call wide receivers, they run up, and I guess we could go vice versa on that too. They get a lot of yards after the touch. What's the balance there between the strip for the turnover and the tackle to be made?
Well, we track tackling, we track broken tackles, and I like we're for this point of the season, we're higher than we've ever been here. So we need to win the tackling battle, no doubt about it. We got to make sure we tackle these guys. They do a great job of yards after the contact, but so do our guys, and they're a good tackling team too. So that will definitely be a battle. But I'll tell you what, you better take care of the ball in today's game because everybody's punching at it. So if you look at that as giving up extra yards, just go watch the fundamentals in this league because this game has changed. As far as the attack on the ball, to me, is at an all-time high. You have to take care of the football.
Coach, real quick, and this is just like a player question. If you're grading me on tape, you see me come, I punch for the ball, but I don't make the tackle. Do I get a plus 2.5 on that or a minus 7.5 on
question?
Well, there's leverage and everything that goes to it. There's two-man situation, three-man situation, and the first part of it is the pursuit. So, but yeah, I mean, we grade everything, and you can't ask and teach fundamentals of your team and then not grade it accordingly. So, but everything's tied together how we teach our fundamentals.
Coach, I know you spend a lot of time in Green Bay. Of course, you heard the name a lot, but I know you're just a football guy. Anything you want to say about Dick Butkus and the passing of Dick Butkus?
Yeah, I mean, I do not know Dick Butkus, but I've had a chance to be around Coach Dicka, and I just know, and in that Chicago fan base, he just was a great part of their history there. So I give my thoughts and prayers to the Butkus family.
Hey, Coach, we want to thank you as always.
As
always, man, this is going to be a fun one. As always, travel safe. We look forward to a good couple of days of practice, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thank you.